We move on to the second module of the certificate course, Research and Reporting Skills. Today we'll discuss the research process. Research is a systematic process that involves a number of steps. Steps in the research process are a tentative selection of the topic or a research problem. Secondly, initial survey of literature. Thirdly, finalization of research problem. Fourth one, formulation of the problem. Next is intensive literature survey. Then the formulation of the hypothesis, preparation of the research design, then the preparation of sample design, then the collection of the data, execution of the project. Next step is analysis of the data, testing the hypothesis, generalization and interpretation, preparation of the research report. Defining and formulating the research problem. A well-articulated research problem is the cornerstone of successful research projects. We need to study the research problem, the issue or the phenomenon, the population that you are going to study. The characteristics of a good research problem include specificity, clarity, feasibility, relevance, and significance. The problem statement should address a gap in the existing knowledge. There should be a gap that you felt regarding that particular topic. For example, you're studying about the socio-economic situation of fishermen. In that case, somebody has studied the socio-economic situation of fishermen from 2000 till 2010. You're going to study in 2023. So, there is 13 years of experience, 13 years of period. In that, there is a gap. So, you are going to study the problem. That could be your problem. Be clearly linked to the research objectives and questions. Third, be researchable within the constraints of time, resource, and ethical guidance. This is very important. How much time is available for you to conduct this particular research? Is time, money, and your physics, whether it is ethically practicable, etc., has to be considered. The selected problem should be translated and transformed into a scientific research question. Just a particular issue you see, whether can we convert into a research problem to bring about into a relationship like cause and effect relationship? Can you translate into that? It is concerned with specifying how accurately the research problem, why it is being studied. You need to know why you study, how much you study, etc. It involves the development of the title. The research problem should become a title of your study. Define the objective, should help you to fix your objectives and also to work out a conceptual model. Importance of literature review in defining a research problem. In order to gain background knowledge of the research topic, to find out the research gap, and the researcher has to review books and other literature. You may not be the first one to study that particular area. There might be a number of people who have studied various aspects of that particular situation or problem. So you need to study what they have studied, in what angle they have studied, what perception or what objective in which they have studied has to be understood. For that, we undertake the literature review. What will be the source? Books can be, published articles can be, source materials, encyclopedia, any latest publication, report published, the government or private, personal diaries or press releases, anything. Anything can be the source of information. Ultimately, we need to remember the purpose of literature review is to identify the existing gap in the study area and also to create a sound theoretical framework and methodological insight. How they have approached, how did they do, what is the methodology that they have used in their study. Primary and secondary source of data. We know that there are two sources of data for the research work, primary data and secondary data. Primary data means the first-hand information collected by an investigator for his purpose. It is collected for the first time. It is original and more reliable. For example, population census conducted by the government of India after every 10 years is primary data. They go to house, they collect the data. It takes long time, very expensive, number of persons are involved in it, but it's the correct data. So that cannot be repeated every other day. That is done once in 10 years. Secondary data. Second data refers to the second-hand information. That data is collected for some other purpose, some other objective. That's not for your objectives. Can be used for your study, but it is primarily done for some other studies. It is not originally collected and rather obtained from the already published and unpublished sources. You have the right to use it, that data, but with the understanding that you are using it for your purpose but collected for some other purpose. For example, address of a person taken from the telephone directory or the telephone of a company taken from just dial are secondary data. The first data is the directory itself, that is collected by the tribe and kept it, and you are using the data. That is a secondary data. Survey method. Survey method is a process, tool, technique that you can use to gather information research by asking questions to predefined group of people from whom that you want to collect the data. You can use a questionnaire. But technique, that's a tool. So survey method can be telephone survey, online survey, focus group survey, face-to-face survey, paper survey. We are all familiar with this. Through over the phone, you are asked the questions to the person to get your information. That is telephonic survey. Online, you send a Google form online. Focus group, you collect a group of people and ask them questions and collect the data. Face to face, one to one, data is collected. You can distribute the paper survey. They fill it and give it back to you. So paper survey. So we conclude the second module here. Thank you.